Hey guys, so in this video we're just going to be working on the swing arm of the CX here. Between the tabs and the bracing, this thing is complete. So I'm nearing completion on the mock-up of the entire bike, so soon enough we're going to tear it down, we're going to go to powder coat. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so we are going to fix or finalize the swing arm today. So you've seen I've messed with the tabs here, so we have that done, and as of yesterday I went ahead and worked on just doing some basic tabs. You can see them here. Some basic little bent pieces, zip tie holders for the swing arm, and I'll use this throughout the bike to hold wiring to it where I want, so I don't have a zip tie wrapped all the way around here. Anyway, the final piece of the puzzle is going to be to make a plate for this area here, and this is going to actually act as the structural brace. This is going to keep it from flexing. So this bar, isn't doing anything right now because it's not tied into anything else, obviously. So the goal is to make a nice, very tight-fitting plate here with just one hole in the front for the cable to run through, and then that'll hide everything from the side. And I might do a couple, just call them speed holes, old hot rodder stuff. I might do a couple holes in the side just for aesthetics. But that shouldn't take away any strength or anything like that. But that's the goal. I went ahead and picked up more white template paper so I can actually try to work on getting a nice clean template in here. It's going to be a little tricky to make because this does a weird bend in it and whatnot. So anyway, that's what we are going to work on today. I don't know how much I'll be filming since it's just going to be cutting out of a piece of paper and fitting it 1,000 times before I finally cut it out of metal, get it bent up and stuff. But I'll see what kind of interesting stuff I can come up with. Anyway, continuing on. Okay, so we're almost ready to weld. I have the plate cut out, I have it bent, I have it mocked up, it fits really well. And then the last thing to do before I burn it in is actually to clearance right here where my brake line is going to go through. So this is one of those things. I built these tabs yesterday so I could like get the routing confirmed. Doing this one-handed, bear with me. So I've drawn on there where it runs after it's zip tied in place. So you can see right here, it's going to lay real flat on this piece. So instead of like drilling a hole to pass through, I'm just going to go ahead and clearance out a little section like that. Obviously it has to fit this much through it, but that's what we'll do right now with this little section. It has to be at an angle as the cable's at an angle, but that's what I'm going to work on next, and then I'm going to go ahead, flick the welder on, and burn it in. Alright, so after a lot of filler rod, we have this thing. The entire swing arm is done. I did a lot of welding, like let's say 1.5 inches at a time, then I'd move around, and then I'd do a few passes, and then I'd let it cool for a while, and then I'd start over until it was all the way done, to try not to distort anything on the swing arm. So it looks pretty cool. Probably just gonna keep it solid for now. If I'm looking at it whenever it's mocked up on the bike, I can always just put a couple holes in it for fun. But for now, I think this is just how it's gonna stay. I even went ahead and I have got the speedometer pickup here, and then the brake line. Those are routed, and then I have another, like the cable ties. You can see in here, hopefully, but that's how the cable will be routed. So it's already, just kind of test zip tied in place, because as of now, I'm gonna go ahead and start mocking up the wiring on this thing. I'm not gonna get it to the point of running because I have to go through the engine, but I at least want to go through and try to lay out the wiring and figure out where I'm gonna want to put, more cable fasteners and things like that, all along the chassis to keep everything clean. So we're getting real close to teardown here. So once I finish kind of laying that out, I think there's like 1 or 2 other little items before I can just tear the bike completely down, and then we'll do a couple more frame modifications just to clean it up, and then we'll get some stuff off to powder coat, and then I'll start tearing into the motor. Well, I'll do things to get it back to a roller at that point, so I'll go and do like fork seals and whatnot. And anyway, I'm rambling. Swing arm's done. I'm going to go ahead and bolt it back on, and then we'll lay out wiring. So for those who are wondering, the brake lines I'm using, these are Goodrich Shadow series. There's a couple versions, but this is the Shadow. I've used them before. They're a really nice fitting set. So you actually custom order, you spec out the length of your line, and then the fittings you want and whatnot. So you have to think ahead here. I've got a couple extra lines from not thinking too far ahead that I ordered in the wrong size, but as you can see, I've ran, this is like a 3-degree bend, and it goes down, goes around, comes back up. It's like a 30-inch line in total, but I have it into a 90 onto the master, and this is a pressure switch for your brake light. and so this is just going to get routed back over here. But real simple. I just wanted to keep it, you know, kept in place as nicely as I could. So hopefully it looks pretty good.